What is up, everybody? Happy Monday. This is my buddy Paul. We were out on Oneida this morning. We were going to go do something different. I just didn't have time yesterday with Mother's Day and all that to go pull the boat. So we fished in the West End. East wind's blowing again for about the 5th or 6th straight day. Not terrible, but bumpy enough. And typically when the east wind blows, the West End starts to turn on. And I had them out there yesterday. But today we wanted to do something a little bit different. Paul got his new reel for his new swim bait rod. He got a JT Rods Panhandler 7-foot ultralight, just like the one I use. He got a new reel and was all ready to roll. And so we wanted to go do some swim bait fishing. So we went out this morning. We were down off Walnut and Long Point, down that way. And you started out right off the bat. You were hot. Started out with a walleye. And that was the only walleye we caught in there on swim baits. We were in from 10 to 13 foot of water. But then the multi-species event was on. Pickerel. You had a big largemouth. I lost a largemouth. We had perch. We had a bunch of species in there.
A couple of sheepshead, nice sheepshead.
Yep. We got those later on jigging, right? We didn't do anything in shallow.
Not shallow.
And so then we went out and we started throwing swim baits out in that, because then we started getting too many pickerel, like every other cast. So we said, all right, let's leave them. And we slipped out a little deeper to the outside edge of where the weed line will be. It's not quite there yet. And we started jigging. And we went right to work on jig fish too. We switched, both of us switched back and forth between a blade bait and a shiver minnow, and we caught fish on both of them. I think we ended up with, let's say, 6 keepers and at least 6 or 7 shorts for walleyes. We had that one, we didn't see any smallmouth, so we had walleyes, pickerel, perch, sunfish, largemouth, and sheep's head.
6.
It's 6 species today. A couple of those sheep's head, that last one you had was a good one. Was a good one.
Screaming.
And you always get that couple moments early on with that big head shake, or that, he's just down there dogging you, and you think, oh, this is something good, And then, even once you realize that it's fighting too hard and too long to be a walleye, boy, there's other cool species in this lake. And I said to Paul, I'm like, there's been a rash of people catching sturgeon lately. We could possibly have one of those. There's big catfish and carp in here, so you never knew. It did turn out to be a sheep's head, but could have been anything. And in a lake like ours, you don't normally get that. I don't know what I've got very often. You go up to the Great Lakes, you can get that more often with some oddball species, but it was fun. The rod stayed bent pretty much all morning. We didn't go more than 15 minutes without a bite from something.
A lot of fun today.
Yeah, and it was nice. It was nice to just catch fish. Neither of us were keeping today, so even though we caught keepers, it didn't matter. We weren't interested in killing them. We just wanted to, say we caught them. Hold on, my phone screen cover thing doesn't want to stay where it's supposed to be. Now it kind of does. So yeah, it was fun. And the West End, I've had some great days where that east wind is piling into the West End. And we didn't get way down in the West End. We were on the South Shore this morning in shallow. You could probably have followed that last drift we were on. We could have taken that all the way down to that red buoy line, where it goes from 16, 15 up to like 13, 12. And you could very well have had fish pushed right down in there. Bait and other things. We did see some bait. Caught a ton of pumpkin seeds today. Caught them on the swim bait. We caught them on the jigging wrap, on the shiver minnow. And we caught them on the blade bait. And they're not shy. And you can almost tell it's such a fast strike. And then they take off like this. You can almost tell right at the hook set that it's a sunfish. And Somebody. And those sunfish aren't shy whatsoever. I mean, and we had a couple ones that had shoulders and a double chin. Like, they were not shy. They're fun little fish, and they're beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. We'll put a couple pictures up. We didn't take many pictures. I only had one decent walleye. Your first one was probably your best, at almost 18. I had one that was just a shade over 18 that had a big head on him, that big white head and jaw. I thought he was going to be over 20, easy, and he was 18 3/4. Water temp out there, surface temp was still in the high 50s, 56, 57. It's 58 in the river. Again, east wind was blowing pretty stiff. It was probably 10 to 15 today. Out of the east-northeast, it oscillated a little bit, but it never laid down. And we've been in this same weather pattern now for, 4 or 5 days at least. So, but the fish are there. The West End, everybody was complaining during the Derby that there were no fish in the West End. They're there. They definitely like it rougher than they do calmer on the West End, that's for sure. And when it starts to roll, especially out of the east, they tend to bite better. So tonight, don't forget, Monday Night Live is at 7:30 p.m. on the YouTube channel. I don't know what we're going to talk about tonight.
I'll find something.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. So join me later. I think that's it. Have a great day. We talked all day today. Surround yourself with people that want to talk about ideas and inventions and ways to do things, as opposed to people that just want to talk about other people. We talk a lot about positivity. Part of positivity is keeping negativity away from you whenever possible. We all know people that are just seem to be negative people, and everything they say or do is coming from a negative place. And at some point, you have to protect yourself and your own peace of mind, aura, and you gotta try and keep that negativity away. And that's a big deal. Here it is Monday morning. Monday mornings are usually pretty negative for people. I don't want to go to work. I don't want to go to work. Somebody out there is wishing they had your job. Somebody out there is wishing they had your life. Not to say that doesn't mean that we can't be, want different things and want them to be better. But, if you're that unhappy in something or someplace, leave it. Put it away and see what happens, And you surround yourself with that good, positive, flowing energy coming in, and then you give it out, and you give it to people, and sometimes you can change them from negative to positive. That's not really your job. Sometimes it's just a matter of about getting some positivity from people and giving it back and seeing where it goes from there. You start that circular flow, and you give out, you get in, you give out, you get in, and then it just starts picking up steam. So, and there's our osprey watching over us right there as we say everything. See him right there in the dead tree? I don't know if you guys can see him from that far away. Yep. All right. That's our morning. Thanks, brother.
Thank you. Awesome.
Always a great time. See you guys tonight and then tomorrow morning. Keep your tip up.